right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you all. Time Attack, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding. Yeshwant, much love to you from India. Thank you for tuning in. Not quicker. It's good to see you as always, man. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. If you get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream, or if you just enjoyed the live stream, please hit the like button for me. John, Boomdock Saint, welcome in, man. We can look at Turbo in just a bit. I was actually looking at Turbo when I read this just a couple minutes ago, and we're back inside the volume profile, but I do think we could see, well, locally a little bit more upside and then another big dump. So I'll let you know about that in just a bit here. Let's see. Peter, welcome in. Peter Vanderville. Sorry, I can't say that last name, but welcome in, Peter. Thank you so much for being here. Vostrix, let's go, man. Welcome in. Golden Liquidations, greetings to you as well. So, guys, something pretty important is happening with Bitcoin right now. We're losing our ascending channel that is pretty much our entire trend from 65K, this entire uptrend that we've been in. Now, we haven't quite broken, I guess you could even say we've broken market structure bearishly by taking out this low in here at the range low. We have broken that market structure bearishly by taking out that low. We even back tested it after breaking it. And now we're starting to lose the trend support of the channel. This is our first daily candle where if we do close below this channel, we would see a daily candle close below the channel. And if you guys remember yesterday's video, I warned about how we were seeing some real big warning signs here on the chart. The bearish divergences put in on the chart. Actually, 1, 2, 3 higher highs. We have the bearish divergences. We have a bearish trigger wave. Now, on some exchanges, this did make a new high. On Coinbase, it didn't. So we do have bear divs confirmed, though, at the highs of this move up from 65K. We also have money flow draining out of the asset, just crossing into the red as we are starting this dump here, which could signal for a bigger dump to the downside. And then if we look on the daily time frame, we were starting to confirm some bearish divergences on this daily time frame. So it's kind of hard to see in here, but you can see on Market Cipher, this high of the momentum wave is coming in around 67.57, and it correlates to this high on the Friday, April 17th. Then we get a little bit of a dip in a confirmed bear div. It's very slight on the daily, but a confirmed bear div from the highs of Wednesday, April 22nd. So we do have confirmed bear divs. And on NAMI, you can see it a lot better. Confirmed bear divs, money flow is starting to drain out on the daily time frame. And also on Market Cipher B, we have topped, and now we're starting to drain out as well on that money flow. So is this signaling that we are going to get a bigger pullback coming? I still do think there is the possibility for new highs before seeing that bigger pullback. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, we have a really crappy double top where some of the exchanges took the high, and even the exchanges that took the high, they took it by like barely anything, like, you know, 10, 20 bucks or something like that. And our last move up, at least on the Coinbase chart with the Coinbase high, our last move up was a 3-wave move up. And if we are going to end an impulse, you generally want to see that impulse end in a 5-wave move or a motive wave, right? Some sort of, you can see a contracting diagonal. Oops, I did that wrong. Contracting diagonal. You could see something like that where we kind of get this contracting diagonal that ends it, which is a motive wave. You can get a single impulse, or you can get like a multiple 1-2 impulse, double 1-2 impulse, something like that. But we want to see some sort of motive wave that ends the entire structure. And we have not seen that quite yet. So our scenarios here today, of course, it is a little bit bearish to see those high time frame bear divs on the chart, to see money flow draining out, and to start to lose this channel. This is our C-wave channel. And if you guys have followed my analysis over the past month or so, we've been looking at now, as one of the bearish scenarios, a ABC correction within from 60K lows, seeing that contracting diagonal in a wave A, or wave A, you get your pullback in a wave B, and then this move up from 65K, this impulse being a wave C, where I actually did think we could make it up to about 82,300, 82,500-ish, where our golden pocket is, or potentially even up to $86,000, $87,000, where the next major level of resistance is. Now, if we roll over before hitting it, it is possible because we have hit that minimum target, being the 0.618 Fibonacci trend-based Fibonacci extinction. So if I put that on the chart, I believe that's around 75.5. It's at 75,166. So we have hit that minimum target. So if we roll over now, it would be acceptable. And if we do start to roll over and start this dump with an impulse, I not only think that we could see a dump down to take out 65K, but we could eventually even come down to take out your 60K lows. Because on the higher time frames, if we're looking at this being a three-wave corrective move, or whether you want to call this a range in a bear market, something like this, three-wave corrective move, bear market kicks back in, you dump. So that is something that I am really preparing for. I'm really preparing to catch those swing shorts. I am still in the short from 78,350-ish, but I've taken a lot of profit on that, and I'm hoping to get stopped out on the rest of that and make another new high. We are coming down into some support right now. We had a naked daily point of control on the Coinbase chart. So if I turn on those naked daily points of controls, you will see that we did have, it was just hit today, but you can see from Monday's, actually Tuesday's, last Tuesday's price action, so exactly a week ago, we had a naked daily point of control that now has been hit today, and that is also in confluence with a golden pocket that we have. And if we look at that weekend low from 2 Sundays ago, guys, this weekend low here, we have a Fibonacci golden pocket pulled from that weekend low to our range highs. You can see that golden pocket is what I got there on the chart right now. So golden pocket in confluence with that naked daily point of control. Now, here's the thing I'm worried about, guys. When you start to break a trend channel like this down, this ascending channel that all the way from 65K, oftentimes you will bounce from a local support level just to come back up to bearishly backtest that channel on a higher time frame, and then that's when the bigger dump comes in. So we really don't want to see a rejection from this bearish backtest of the channel. Now, that might take a couple days, guys. We might locally, I'm going to go over this price action locally in here, but there is a count where an Elliott wave count where we could see a bigger impulse to the downside straight from here. So we don't want to, first off, I do think I said this in the Telegram right before we started the stream. I am looking at a potential VWAP short, just a very, very small scalp short position, where if we do reject from the VWAP, I would be looking to take out our local lows. So it would be something like this, you know, my stop would go wherever that wick happened. We also have some internal liquidity in here, and then I would be targeting that low just as a super small scalp trade, leaving some to, open just in case we get that bigger dump that comes in. But if we're looking here on the 15-minute chart at our move down from Sunday, which, by the way, guys, this is a weekend high. We have a weekend low down here, which is a Sunday low. We have a weekend high up here. Now, on some exchanges, that is actually the range high, just by a few dollars. But with that weekend high, we can see that we have a pretty aggressive move down, followed by a 3-wave corrective move up, followed by a pretty aggressive move down, followed by that 3-wave move up. So the move down comes to here, followed by a 3-wave move up. And then this price action is what I'm analyzing right now. And if we look at this move, and yesterday's video, I did say this here, 1 2 1 2. I said it was more likely to be a 1 2 1 2, because if we were looking at this as a 1 2 3 4 5, it is valid, but it's not likely to me, because it's valid because we didn't have overlap between the lows of wave 1 and the highs of wave 4. Actually, did we get that overlap? No, it barely front ran it, guys. Maybe we did touch it. Hold on, let me check this. Where is this? So that's at 77,481, and yeah, actually 77,479 pretty much. So we didn't touch it. Now it's only $2 difference. I would say that's very close to invalidation, but technically the hard invalidation hasn't been hit by just $2. Another reason why I don't think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is because our third wave, generally your third wave is the longest, strongest, most volume filled wave to the upside or to the downside. And if we pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs of 1 to the lows of 1 to the highs of 2, if this was the third wave, your third wave generally moves down to the 1.618 or deeper. And you can see we didn't even actually hit the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction target, which is a common C wave corrective target. If it was a 3-wave corrective move, and then you get another rise here. So for me, I would say, okay, this is like this dump down from Sunday is likely, if it's going to be an impulsive dump to the downside, it's likely to be a bigger double 1-2 impulse, right? So you have your primary 1, your primary 2. You have a secondary 1, which is smaller than your primary 1, and then you have a secondary 2, and then this would be the third wave with whatever we're seeing here. And I think that third wave might potentially come down to our green box of support. And within this larger third wave, we have to look at this structure. So do we see 5-wave move down in here? And so far I don't. We can see our initial move down in a wave 1. This is a running flat in a wave 2. This is our push down in a wave 3. Right now we're bouncing in a wave 4. And then if we see another low in a wave 5, that would complete the bigger third wave. And then we would still need 2 more 4-5s, 2 more bigger 4-5s to correlate with these 1-2s up here. So I do think it is possible that we're in a third wave that is not finished yet. That means we are looking for a new low. And then even after that, we would be looking for a bigger 4th wave corrective move, followed by a new low, followed by another 4-wave corrective move, followed by another new low. And right now, I do think that's the higher probability Elliott wave count. Could we say that this is the 5th wave? Could we say that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 extended 5th wave holding support, and now we're going to rally? Yes, it is possible. It is not an invalidated count, but it's less likely to me. So knowing that, what can we look at to understand whether we are about to see a bigger dump? Well, we can come in onto our oscillators and we can look at our oscillators. We can look at also market structure. What is the primary thing to look at in a trend is a break in market structure. And if we look inside of this channel that we've been seeing from 65K, we had higher highs, higher lows, 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 higher highs. Here's your low. We got a double top here, or on some exchanges, it was a higher high, but let's just say it's a double top there. But the key thing that happened is the first time in this entire structure from 65K is we finally saw a bearish market structure break by taking out that range low at $76,970, or let's say $980, $76,980. We broke market structure bearishly. And this is the key thing that I've been talking about for the past week on this channel is once we see a bearish market structure break, that could mean the high is in, and that could mean we start the bigger dump to the downside. So check 1, bearish market structure break. Check 2, 4-hour bear divs with money flow draining out of the asset on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. We have multiple drives of bearish money flow divergence on NAMI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drives of bear div now crossing into the red on NAMI. We have the bear divs on Market Cipher B with money flow also showing some bear divs and draining out as that asset is making new highs. Major warning signs here, guys. There is major warning signs with both market structure break and with the oscillators showing us that we could be about to see that bigger dump come into the downside. Now, the one thing that we have hopeful for us is that I would say some exchanges did not take out that high on Sunday. And when we see a double top like this, or when we see some exchanges take out the high and some exchanges don't, generally the market will correct itself to come back up and let all exchanges have that equal high. And if that happens, we could be seeing a flat correction in here, A, B flat, and then a C wave to the downside, which in that C wave, you want to see an impulse. And so if this is an ABC flat, then I would say the scenario of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extended fifth wave would probably be what we want to see. We don't want to see the double 1, 2 come in here. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 4, 5. I mean, if we hit the 1.618, so in an expanded flat correction, in an expanded flat, your C wave rarely will come to the 1.618 trend-based Fibonacci extinction. So if we go from the highs of A to the lows of A to the highs of B, which, by the way, your B wave minimum target in a flat is the 0.9 Fibonacci, which we have hit on all exchanges. Your most common target is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. But for an expanded flat correction, you will rarely drop to the 1.618 Fibonacci trend-based Fibonacci extinction. Let me get rid of this golden pocket real quick. So at 75,423, that could be, if we are going to see our C wave in an expanded flat coming down to around 75.4, could be that flat correction in an A, B, C flat, and then we boost up here. We push up. The way it's looking right now, guys, I don't like how this impulse looks incomplete, and we are so close to that 1.618. It is really not very good to see. Also, what else did we see that we talked about throughout the weekend and on Monday is we pull that volume profile of this kind of upper weekend range from last Wednesday to Monday. And yesterday, right as I was making the video, by the way, guys, I got stopped out after a TP1 on this trade, but right as I was making the video, I took, right before I actually hit record on the video, I took a TP1 at $77,300 from a low that was made as a scalp long position because we were starting to lose the value area low of this range. And this was an upper range that we'd been in for 5-6 days. We lost the range with a volume imbalance candle to the downside, this candle here. We grinded up, and on the bearish backtest of the value area low, if you rejected here, we were at least likely to take out these lows. And that's exactly what happened. I explained that in yesterday's video. I also explained at the beginning of yesterday's video why I took 50% TP out here and moved my stop loss to break even. And I did get stopped out on the rest of that long trade overnight. Now, I have not longed this golden pocket naked daily point of control today. I have not longed yet. The reason I have not longed because of, from yesterday's rejection, I'm looking at this potentially being a wave 3. And if this is going to be a wave 3, we want to see a valid 5-wave count. And I just went through that with you guys about 5 minutes ago. So from yesterday's highs, right as we were making the video yesterday, right after market close yesterday, right where that VWAP snaps, 1 running flat and a 2, 3, 4. Right now, if we roll over, another 5 would finish just the third wave, guys. And then that would be the end of your third wave. And we would be looking for 2 4 5s now. We would be looking for something similar, some 4 5s in here. And I would want to see some nice bull divs as we're coming into this box of support. Now, if you remember this box of support down here, between 74,900 and 74,600. Let me go ahead and zoom out here. We have some very key liquidity resting into that area of support. And then if we look at from that weekend low, that Sunday weekend low on April 19th to our range highs, and we turn on our 786 Fibonacci, you can see our 786 Fibonacci is going to be there as well, right at pretty much right at that box. I think I just needed to adjust the box a little bit. Actually, never mind. I pulled that 786 from the range low, from our prior range low. So you can see here, this we had a couple ranges over the past 2 weeks. We had a range that lasted in here with a bit of a deviation above, but pretty much a range there, a sideways range. And then after breaking up last Wednesday, we were forming a new range in this area. So now we've lost this upper range. We back tested the value area low of that upper range. We rejected, and then we fell back inside of your prior range. So because we've fallen back inside of that prior range, that like, intra-weekly range that we had, we can pull the volume profile for that range. And we can look at, and let me just pull this a little bit over there. Yeah, okay, so your POC is a little bit below that now. I believe we did have your channel midline. So we also have a channel midline in there. So not looking at this C wave channel. This C wave channel in here is based off of our, and I call this the C wave channel because I'm looking at this being an A, B, C coming up to around 82 to 86, right? So the C wave channel, we're starting to lose today. That's our first sign of weakness. We're losing our trend. But if we look at a bigger channel that is based off of the entire corrective range of the past 3 months. Let me zoom out to the 4 hour. In the past 3 months, you can see how we, from the 60K lows to your 65K higher lows, up to that first big range high. Actually, it was not up to that first range high. It was up to the very, very first 3-wave dead cat move corrective high. So looking at this channel, if we do come down to the midline into our box of support and bounce, there is still an opportunity. We could see an impulse up to 82.5, 82.3, where then we would be ending this entire impulse from 65K around there and see that bigger dump to the downside. So I really would not like to lose that midline. Now, it is already bearish that we've broken market structure bearishly by taking out that 76,980 low. But if we take out another low, then now this is just an internal low, but taking out that low, there is some liquidity there into a channel midline, into a 786 Fibonacci. And I think it was, if I pulled the volume profile and combined both the ranges, yeah, it was the value area low if you combine both of the ranges. The range from a couple weeks ago and then the range that we just broke down that was developing over the past 5-6 days. You can see that value area low is coming down there as well. And this is pretty much looking at all the price action after we impulsed above the channel midline. So looking at all of this price action above the channel midline. So very, very locally, guys, it's been kind of hard to get into any trades today. If you didn't short, and I'm, if I wasn't making the video yesterday, I TP'd half at this bearish backtest of the value area low. I probably would have entered a head short, a scalp short, if we rejected taking out at least 50% once we took out that low. I didn't do that. I was making a video. But now looking locally, even though this is a nice support level, guys, it's a naked daily point of control in confluence with the golden pocket. So absolutely, it's a nice support level, but I do not see that there's any way that this structure could be ended here. Even if we were in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an extended fifth wave, your fifth wave here is still not complete. This move here is still not complete because we have a wave 1, we have a running flat and a wave 2, we have our wave 3, we're developing the wave 4 right now, and then we need one more low. Could it be as simple as a double bottom? Yes, it could. It could just be your wave 5, SFP's the internal low from today, overall holding the golden pocket, and then we see that move up. It could be that. So, but for right now, I do not see any fresh short positions unless we reject from VWAP, because there is the potential we could, come up here, reject from VWAP, and then come down and make that last low. For long positions here, I didn't long this yet because we still have an unfinished structure in here. And if I miss the trade, if for some reason there's an alternative count where we can push up from here, I miss out. But I don't see a clear 1, 2. Are you going to say that's 3, 4, 5? You can't say that because a hard rule in Elliott waves is your third wave cannot be the shortest wave. Sometimes you'll have an extended first wave followed by a 2, 3, 4, 5. But your extended first wave will be extended. That is the most rare single impulse. You do see a lot in crypto. 1, 2, 3. Your 3 is always longer. A 4, and then your fifth wave is extended, which is the second Most rare, you know, the most rare is an extended 1 wave, then the extended 5 wave, and obviously the most common is for your 3rd wave to be the most extended. So I just don't see a count in here that's valid right now for this low to be the ultimate low on lower time frames. And because of that, I'm looking for local, very local scalp trades to take out that low and potentially move lower, like much lower. Okay, let me check the chat here, guys. Also, I'm going to get a drink of water real quick. Let me check the chat, and then we will go into some of the altcoins we can go into. I do want to show you guys the total market cap real quick, because total market cap as well, and we'll go into the USDT dominance chart, are showing some things that I think are very interesting. R Pink, welcome in, my man. Much love to you as always. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding and always doing such a great job of it. Mr. Wreckage Chun, dump. Stop the bots from painting the tape. Yes. Mr. Wreckage Chun, it's always good to see you in here as well. Thank you so much for joining. Rocket89DB, hey, bro, it's good to see you. Much love to you from Australia. Thank you so much for tuning in from all the way around the world. Appreciate the support, man. Athena Hashimoto, welcome in. Can you check BSB? Yes, we will check out BSB. I'll also check out Turbo for John. Let me finish up with Bitcoin here, and then the total market cap and the USDT dominance chart. We won't take too long on those, and then we'll go into some of the altcoins here. But yes, BSB we will look at. Crypto Clan World, much love to you. It's so good to see you in here. Always love seeing this comment from you. Patrick Schooner from Germany, man. Thank you for tuning in from across the world as well. Gosh, you guys, this is awesome. We have people tuning in from all across the world, all different nationalities. It's great to see it. Glasshopper77, good afternoon to you. Please do smash the like button, guys, if you got any sort of insight into Bitcoin from this little analysis, or if you get some future insight into an altcoin you're looking at. John, let's see, 77 in here and only 12 likes. Yeah, 12 likes, guys. Come on, we can get that up from 12 likes. If we have 77, maybe we can get to 50. That would be cool if we could get to 50. Yeah, that would be awesome, guys. 74,980 is the 786. I think you and I both pulled out fibs from the same spot. Yeah, not quicker. I'm looking at the fib from 2 different levels. So obviously those Sunday lows are pretty important. These Sunday lows from April 19th are pretty important. But if we look at this as a range, right? This was one range. The actual range low is a bit lower. So if you pull that 786 from the range low of your prior range, it comes down to around 74.6 instead of 74.9. And that's why I'm looking at, and your value area lows very close by that. And then the liquidity is below that. If we look at our different 786 pull, the one that you were just talking about from that Sunday low, let me go ahead and pull that real quick. From the Sunday low to the range highs, you can see it's at 74,978. So pretty much 75K. Let's just say 75K. You can see that our liquidity is below that level. So to me, this 786 is a little bit better, because anytime you can see a liquidity grab into a support level, that's key. So this 786 at 74.6 is just a little bit more. I say they're both valid. It's a zone, right? That's why I have this box here. It's a zone in here. It's a zone. And then we also have that value area low of our 2 ranges combined right at that 786, the one that you're talking about. So very clear zone of interest coming down below us. And this zone is where I'd be interested in potentially taking a long. All right. Yeah, Bands Bell, welcome in. Is it time for big shorts? Well, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the stream, but if we start to close that daily candle, so let me go ahead and get rid of some of this local TA here. If we start to close our daily candle below our C wave channel, not that one. By the way, that's a little channel I'm looking at right now throughout the day. Let's go to the 12-minute chart. You can see from the highs on Sunday, we're kind of chopping within this channel. So bounced from the midline, we're coming up to the top here. That's why we're finding a little bit of resistance before hitting the VWAP. But you can also see where the bottom of that channel is coming in around our box of support. Just a small, like, micro trend channel that I'm watching there. But if we look at our C wave channel, what did I do with that? This guy here, Bansbell, we are finally now, let me hide the larger one. We are finally starting to see a break on the daily below this entire channel structure from 65K. And if I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see it a little bit better. Within this ascending channel from $65,000 up to our range highs at 79.5, you can see that we have maintained bullish market structure the entire time. This break of this range low was our first break in bearish market structure, but it's also us losing the trend support of this entire uptrend channel. So if we close the daily candle below this channel, that is when we could signal, sure, we might come up, bounce from here to get a little local move up, and then you could see the big dump coming in, right? So we have to be very careful and watch today's daily close. But yeah, I mean, we also on those big shorts, we see the bear divs confirmed. We see the money flow bear divs draining out of the asset, crossing into the red. We see the multiple drives of bear div on money flow on NAMI crossing into the red here. And then on the daily time frame, we have confirmed daily bear divs on both Market Cipher B and on NAMI. So major warning signs that the bigger dump could be here. The only thing I don't like, as I said earlier, double top here. Also, the last move up, 3-wave move up. Don't like that one bit. Okay. Sudeep, welcome in. Much love to you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding. And TXRX0101, good to see you as always. Quiles 1100, Team B Willa, Ryan Henson. Good afternoon to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. You got so many of you I see in here on a regular basis, and I just appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys tuning in every day and just being here to build this community. Kevin Hammond, welcome in, and Take No Risk, welcome in as well. And thank you for the comment, Take No Risk. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I would love to do a live stream with Andy, with the Bitcoin consensus community. I guess I should call it the Mind Pillar Markets community now. I have a lot of respect for Andy. I think Andy's one of the legit real traders out there that actually uses good risk management, that actually knows what he's talking about. And his partner, Dewald, too. Dewald is great as well. So, I don't get to catch Dewald as much because when he streams, it's nighttime for me. I'm asleep pretty much every time he streams, but I respect those guys so much, and I would love to do a collab with them sometime. I have never reached out to Andy about that, but maybe I will have to reach out to Andy about that. Okay, let's see here. Let me go really quickly into the total market cap. Now, I showed this a little bit at the end of yesterday's video, but let's zoom out to the daily time frame, and we've been looking at this bigger bearish pitchfork from the all-time highs. Now, this is a major bearish pitchfork because you can see it's from our first all-time high at the very beginning of 2025, moving down to those April 2025 lows, then moving up to your new highs, your new all-time high within the market cap. This is the total market cap. So Bitcoin, everything, the entire crypto market. Now, if we look at our bearish trend, you can see this pitchfork has been really well respected. We were chopping around, holding, flipping that upper band to resistance. We dropped to the midline. We saw a nice 3-wave corrective move to backtest that upper band now as resistance. We rejected it here. We dropped straight through the midline all the way to the lower band, but we held the lower band as support. Very, very nicely held that lower band as support. Now, originally, when we came up to the midline and rejected here, I actually talked about this a few weeks ago in our live streams. I said, guys, we have to be careful. This could be it, and we could see a major dump down to the lows of the pitchfork. We didn't get that. We ended up holding a higher low. And what is bullish here, this was a major resistance a month ago, back in middle of March. Well, coming into the middle of April, we break above that bearish pitchfork midline. And you can see here what happened is as soon as we broke above it, we immediately back tested it on low time frames. And on the low time frame back test, if it holds, you expect to make new local highs above these highs. We did that. Then we come in for the higher time frame backtest. It did front run. If we zoom in a little bit, you'll see that it was a front run. It didn't actually touch that trend line. And then we made new local highs, right? But just barely. So this is what I want to focus on. This backtest right here where we actually didn't touch the midline. On the daily time frame, it looks like it pretty much did. But if I zoom in onto the 4-hour time frame, you're going to see that that did not. So we had our original break above backtest. Because it held here, we expected to take out this high, and we did. Great. Worked as expected. After taking out the high, we saw another retracement down, and we did not touch for a higher time frame backtest that pitchfork midline. Now, we came up, we pretty much made a double top. It was higher, but just barely. So if we throw on that high, you could see it was just barely higher. But because of that, because we didn't actually backtest on the higher time frame here, are we looking at a flat range that is developing between the midline and those semi-equal highs up there, all those semi-equal highs? So could we see the total market cap drop in here to actually backtest that midline, hit that midline, grab the liquidity from our range lows before seeing the move up to break the range highs? We see it all the time in these sideways ranges, guys, where the market makers will stop out liquidity on both sides before continuing the trend. The trend coming into it has been an upward trend. If we get a sideways range where we drop to grab the liquidity of those range lows and then pump to take out the liquidity of the shorts above, it would make total sense. The market makers play this game all the time. So I am watching for the total market cap to potentially dump another, let's see, we're at 2.53 trillion. We could dump all the way to 2.44 trillion, which means that Bitcoin and the altcoins would probably see a significant retracement, a significant pullback over the next, I would say, probably week or so. So that is something that I'm going to be watching for. Now, on that higher time frame backtest, if we hold it, I expect us to put in new highs of this range, and that's when we could potentially see a bigger push up to retest that upper band again. So let's go zoom back out to the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, if we do something like this, break above, backtest it, we could come up to our previous range value area low, this value area low of this previous range, and it would be in confluence with the bottom of the value area low of the previous range in confluence with the bottom limit of that upper pitchfork band. The thing is, I don't think, even after we backtest this, I don't think it's going to go straight up like this. I don't think there's a possibility it could, but we're probably going to see some more choppiness in here, maybe even a pullback. So I would be expecting we could get up there depending on how, after the bounce. So after this bounce right here, we really want to start that with a nice impulsive move here in this very first one wave in here. So that is something we'll have to keep an eye on over the next, I would say, week to 3 weeks, this pullback and the bounce, if we get the bounce. But we do have also on the total market cap, higher highs in the price action, lower highs here, lower highs here. So we do have the bear divs. We also have money flow on the daily time frame, just crossing into the red today on NAMI. So a pretty bad sign there that this, with us crossing into the red on the daily time frame, which if we close our daily candle today red, it will confirm a cross into the red. So that means that we could see a pullback for the next 3 or 4 days to backtest that midline. Okay, USDT dominance. Now, earlier this, I think it was on Friday, I let you guys know that we might see a dump on Bitcoin because of what's happening with USDT dominance. And what had happened is, okay, here's the daily time frame. But we were dropping within this move for the past couple of weeks on USDT dominance. And we wanted to bounce from that 382 Fibonacci and specifically wick below it to hit a naked weekly point of control and a daily level that is just below it. You can see that's at the bottom of our green box. And then the 382 is at 7.096%. Well, we did not actually hit the 7.8, the 3.8. Actually, we did, excuse me. Over the weekend, we did hit that 3.82. We did not hit the naked weekly and the daily level. Now, overall, on the crypto dominance market cap, we've been looking at a big move up from our range lows. We've been looking at a potential 5-wave impulse to end the bear market, right? So if we see this as a wave 1, a wave 2, here's our big wave 3. In our wave 4 pullback, we're looking for a pullback between the 382 or the 0.5 Fibonacci for a bounce to create a wave 5, where I think that wave 5 will take out our double top highs at 9.48%, or let's just say 9.49%. So are we about to see a nice huge move up on the USDT dominance chart, which would mean the crypto market is dumping, right? Because it's inversely correlated. A lot of people will sell off their Bitcoin, their altcoins into USDT. And that's why we see USDT go up while Bitcoin and the cryptos go down. The altcoins go down. So we actually have hit that 382 now. So that is a pretty crucial level to be hitting where we could see a bigger bounce. Now, the one thing I would say about this wave 4, moving to VWAP. Okay, thank you, Ping. Thank you. I will come back to this in just a second, guys. I want to see this real quickly here. All right, let's check this out. Let's see if we do get a little bit of a move. 5-minute chart. Now, I want to see us take this liquidity at 76.4. So wick above that VWAP, take that liquidity, and then dump. If we get that, I will look for the scalp short position, guys. But we want to see that swing wick above and then start to fall below it. That could be like an 11-to-1, or, you know, say we wick above a little bit more. It's still a really good scalp trade that we could be looking at. Let's see. Let me check the chat while we're waiting. Mark, welcome in, man. Good afternoon to you as well. Steel and Stone, what is up, my friend? Here, present, DA. Thank you for the kind comment, Steel and Stone. I appreciate that as well. Yeah, DeWald is very, very good with Elliott waves. I agree with that, Bansbell. He's amazing. Saved by the Blood Rom. Thank you so much. Good day to you as well. We pumping or we dumping? Well, locally, I am looking for, this is intraday scalp trades. I am looking for a new low to be made. Because, and I discussed this earlier in the stream, so I'm not sure if you were present for that, but within this move down from yesterday's high, we have a wave 1, a running flat, and a wave 2, a wave 3. We're in our wave 4 right now, and then we could get a wave 5. That would just end, that would either be an end to your entire move down from Sunday, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extended 5th wave, or more likely to me, this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. This is your 3rd wave that would end on the next low, and it might come all the way down to this box before getting some 4 5s to finish it up. So we could be seeing a bigger dump. But locally, I'm prioritizing shorts. Now, we did bounce from a very nice support level. Let me say that. It's a naked daily point of control, and it's also a golden pocket. When we look at our last huge move from the weekend lows of Sunday, April 19th to our range highs, that is going to be your golden pocket. If we throw on golden pocket, you can see golden pocket is sitting right in that zone. So you expect some sort of at least bounce opportunity from here. Little bit of a bounce that we could get from here. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to set an alert, Pink, on this this little micro high here, and then I'll go back to the USDT chart. And if that alert sets off, we'll immediately shift over to Bitcoin. Now, on the USDT dominance chart, this is what's important, guys. we did bounce. So it depends on what time frame you're on. See, so when you're on the 4 hour, it looks like you haven't hit it yet, that 382. Now, if you zoom out to the daily time frame, very clearly you hit into that 382. So I don't know what's going on, if that's a glitch with TradingView, but you can see the little bit of a wick past it on the daily time frame. That wick past it, it actually hits the 382. So not too sure what to think about that, but we did get close to our target. Overall, what we're looking for is, we also have this upper range, right? This entire corrective zone that we've been in here. We have this range, and we lost the value area low, hit the 382, came back inside of the volume profile, back tested the value area low twice, and we're holding and we're getting above the POC. So because we have now re-entered back inside of our volume profile, locally on the daily time frame, have held support twice, and you can see we got wicks on the daily down below it, but no daily candle closes below the value area low. We are now opening a daily candle. Yesterday's daily candle closed above the POC. Today's daily candle's opening above the POC and continuing to push to the upside. So because of that, we might see a bigger retracement, even if it's only to come up to value area high, to continue this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You know, continuing the bearish trend in this kind of corrective structure we're seeing. Could we come up to value area high, or, you know, somewhere around there, a golden pocket? Yes. But because we're now back inside of our volume profile, let me go back to the 4 hour chart. We're back inside of our volume profile. We have flipped the value area low to support, and we broke above the POC and closed above it yesterday on the daily. We at least could come sweep this high. And I talked about this last Friday with you guys, but I said we might come sweep these highs. And if you guys remember that, we distinctly talked about these highs last Friday. If we pull our golden pocket from that last daily high to the daily low, or just swing high to swing low on the daily time frame, your last high on the daily to that low on the daily, you can see golden pocket is coming in 7.8, you know, 7.8 set like to 7.86-ish. And then if we look at our 786 as well, 786 is going to be coming in a little bit above that value area high of the range. But what's important to understand now is we are getting back above the POC, and we've re-entered and re-established price action back within the volume profile. So because we did that, there is a chance we could move up towards this zone of resistance, 786 golden pocket value area high. It would sweep all of this liquidity that was created in here, and especially this double top that was created in here. And you can see a sweep of that double top would come into your golden pocket. If you look at this, this is a double top here. So yes, it did hit that exact level, 7.746. And if we look here, 7.745, we look here, 7.743. So it's pretty much a double top here, right? 7.746. So exact highs here. Not a liquidity grab, exact highs, a double top there. So do we see us continue to rise here to sweep out those two highs into the golden pocket before seeing a bigger dump? Now on the daily time frame, let's zoom back out to the daily time frame, and let's talk about our bigger impulse to the upside, meaning our bear market. Let's talk about our bear market so far for Bitcoin. We know that we have a lower range in here for the USDT dominance, kind of this lower range here. We bounced from value area low many times. Value area low, right? Then we made a higher low at the 886. Yes, it is rare for a wave 2 to go to the 886, but it does happen. We have our wave 1 here, pull back in a wave 2 here, wave 3 here. Now we're looking for a fourth wave. Now, the common targets are between the 382 and the 0.5. But what you generally see with your wave 4 corrective move, it lasts as long or longer than your wave 2 corrective move. And if we're looking at our wave 2 corrective move, it took 129 days. If we're looking so far at our wave 4 corrective move, It is from the low that was created a couple days ago, 70 days. So it's like not about half, right? Little over half, maybe 60% is long. So do we see something, guys, where we get a small move up over the next couple of weeks up to value area high, 786 golden pocket, put in an overall lower high, continuing the downtrend, and then drop again to actually hit that naked weekly point of control in that daily level and double bottom an SFP liquidity grab of the lows from a couple days ago? Or could we even see a bigger drop to come down to the 0.5 Fibonacci? I think that both of those are possible, but that means over the next couple of weeks, USDT dominance could be rising, meaning Bitcoin's dumping, and then we get a drop on USDT dominance, meaning Bitcoin's pumping, before seeing this fifth and final wave, where I do think this fifth and final wave here, this impulse, is going to end the bear market. And I do think we are going to come take out this double top up here on the USDT dominance chart, because it is not an exact double top, but look at that. 9.422, 9.488. I mean, so close to each other that it would be so nice to sweep those highs, to grab that liquidity of both of those highs. So it's something that we definitely have to watch for, a bigger dump coming on Bitcoin. I mean, a dump now locally could happen for a couple weeks, then followed by a pump for maybe a month, then followed by a dump that could last 3 months or so, 2-3 months. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin just for a second here. Are we coming up to that VWAP? Come on, don't freeze on me now. Yeah, we're coming up. We haven't hit it yet. Let's see if we get that hit. Now, guys, remember, no SFP, no rejection, no short, okay? Because we could be seeing a larger move up here, up to the back test of the channel before dumping. So I'm not guaranteed to take this short. It's just if we get the opportunity, we will. If not, we wait. Mark Dutch, welcome in, man. So much love to you. Thank you for being here. Yes, guys, please do hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It's always great to see you in here, Mark. Send me $20. I'll get you access to Divine shower cam. Mark, I gave that to you in confidence. What are you doing? Oh, gosh. All right. Let's see. Chi-chan, welcome in, my friend. And Little Rick 69. Good to see you guys in here. Okay. Saved by the Blood Rum. Have you seen the macro trend line on log? Looks like we are retesting it. I think you're talking about that macro downtrend. Let me go on to my index chart. Let's go to the daily. Don't worry, our pink, I got that set. But yes, you're talking about this downtrend. Now for me, I drew it as a channel, but if I hide the channel, it's the ray is still there. This ray here, I'm just looking at it as a channel. And yes, we could, but we haven't quite touched it yet, at least on the index chart. So coming down on the index chart, we would need to come down to, I would say, like around 75K. It's at pretty much 75K. And yes, speaking in terms of that bump and run pattern, right? Now, the big thing is, guys, do you really think, like, if anything, I think this choppy move up from 65K is almost done with. Could we make one more new high? Yes. Could we come to 82.5 or maybe even 86? Yes. But I don't think we're going to see something like this where we push up from 65 to 80, come back test this, and then just go all the way up to 100K. It just, this structure looks closer to an end than a beginning. So, and if this was a wave 3, if this was a contracting diagonal in a wave 1, you get your pullback in a wave 2, and this was a wave 3, sure, I mean, could this be part of it and this all be a wave 3 in here? Yes, it could. I think it's far less likely, but we will see. You know, we can see maybe this is going to come down, bounce just to grab that liquidity and maybe come up to 82 before rolling over. 82.81. Remember, at $81,000, we have a naked daily point of control. Also at 82.3 to 82.5 is the big level. But at 81,000, we have the start of our large logarithmic golden pocket. At 81, we have a naked daily. 81,233 is the start of our logarithmic golden pocket. And that golden pocket is pulled from 98K down to 60K. Now, some of you guys are going to pull that and say, what are you smoking, Divine Hood? It doesn't start till 83,000, right? You're going to pull this and you're going to go here to here, and you're going to put on your golden pocket and you're going to say, it starts at 83.5, not 81. Like, what are you doing? Well, this is more than a 30% drop to the downside. This is a 38% drop to the downside. So if you're on the logarithmic chart and you see more than a 30% drop, in order to get the proper 61.8% retracement, you need to click on this fib, go into your settings and click fib based off log scale. That is going to give you your proper 61.8% retracement. Now remember, that 618, that golden Fibonacci ratio, is psychologically ingrained into the human mind. And that's why we want to get that proper 61.8% retracement. Are we going to hit this thing finally? Come on, Biddy. Okay, Bitcoin is hitting the VWAP on Coinbase. Let me check Bybit. Not quite yet on Bybit. And that's why, so guys, I'm really looking to take out the liquidity at 76, pretty much 76.4. What about Binance? Let's see. Binance is even a little bit higher. So Coinbase's VWAP is a little bit lower than Binance and Bybit. We're hitting the Coinbase VWAP. Could we reject here? Absolutely. I would like to come a little bit higher to grab this liquidity, an internal intraday liquidity grab. Let's go on to our liquidation heat map real quick. And if we look at just the past 24 hours of price action, okay, nothing below that. Let's go to the 12-hour. Yeah, we do have some liquidity that is resting up. It's a little bit higher than I would like, though, but it's there. Wow, and you can see coming up to $80,000, we have some very key liquidity up into that $80,000 mark. Let's look at the past 3 months, which has been the range that we've been in for about 3 months. Wow, so look at all this liquidity, and it's a cluster, right? Look at this big cluster where, guess where it starts to end at? Around 82.5, 82.2 to 82.5. Which happens to be a very, very key level, in my opinion. 82.5 and is our 6.5 of the golden pocket. If we pull that trend-based Fibonacci extinction from 60K to the 76K original range highs down to our 65K higher low, we turn on our ABC target zone between the 1 to 1 and the 1.236. This is your zone. If we're going to see a bigger A, B, C, you want to reject in this zone between 82 and 87, right? Now, if we look at our bearish pitchfork, our larger bearish pitchfork, where are you at? Here. Where is our pitchfork midline? Right there, guys, right there. So I really think, and once again, we were finally able to break above the lower band, that lower band, back test, and then pump. And remember, this back test here is where all the majority of the liquidity is resting at 70K. So we know that back test was a very important back test here because a lot of longs stepped in right there and they put their stops right below those lows. So that flip from resistance to support was important. A very important support resistance flip as far as our pitchfork trading goes. All right, let's see what is happening here. We're not really getting a rejection per se yet. We still haven't wicked into that liquidity. We're right there. I want to see us wick into it a little bit. Now, remember, if we don't start to fall back, okay, hit it. If we don't start to fall back below the VWAP, I don't take the short. This is an opportunity we have that could play out. Very slight stop loss. Now, you guys should know by now how to calculate your position sizes. You're pretty much taking whatever 1% of your portfolio is. So let's just give an example. If you have a $1,000 portfolio, 1% is $10. So you're going to take $10 and you're going to divide it by this number, but you're going to move the decimal over 2 places because it is a percentage. So you would do $10 divided by 0.00138. You could put on $7,246 on this short trade. And if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose $10. That is how, okay, here we go. We're getting that little bit. Let me see. I am going to. Okay, guys, I just entered a scalp short. I entered the scalp short here. I told you I was planning this before the stream started. If we got up to VWAP and started to reject. Now, could we get another high? Because we do have a Binance VWAP that has not been touched yet. And a Bybit VWAP. Well, Bybit VWAP has been touched. So Binance hasn't, but the rest of them have. I'm in the short. We'll see what happens if it gets stopped out and we come up to Binance and start to lose it again. I will short again. But this is a short for me. This is a scalp short. Now, I will take out probably at least 50%. At least 50% when we take out the local low for the day. At least. But I might take out 75% depending on how we react. But remember, within this move from yesterday's high, wave 1, running flat in a wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. We still need another low in a wave 5 just to finish your third wave. And then after that, so after this low here, that's when you could get a bigger retrace in a wave 4, where you probably will take out the origin of the lower degree wave 4. Oftentimes your higher degree wave 4 will take out the origin of like a third wave 4, and then a wave 5, and then another wave 4, and then another wave 5. Maybe where we ended around $74,600 or 75K. Okay, go easy on the shampoo. Mark, I love my shampoo. I love me some soap. His ex-girlfriend's calling. Yeah, seriously, right? She won't leave me alone, Mark. What do I do? Okay, how did you get CoinGlass to show whole BTC heat map? And okay, I'll show you that. So when you go onto your liquidation heat map, you see at Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, you have pair right here where it can show you Binance. If you click on symbol, it's going to aggregate all the major exchanges together. So just, I always use the symbol one because it aggregates Binance, Bybit, Coinbase, all the major ones, Bitstamp, you know, all the big ones. So this to me, when you aggregate it, it's a lot better. But great question, Cosmic. The 12-hour 200 moving average on BTC is my line in the sand. BGSP 19. That's okay. Where is that for you? I could throw it on there, but I'll just wait for you to let me know. I'm in the shower right now. Crypto Clown World. Well, I thank you for listening to me in the shower, I guess. Liam, welcome in, man. It's good to see you. Much love to you. Bull divs on the 15-minute and 1 hour, hidden bullish divergence bouncing off 100 EMA, 4 hour. As long as the 4 hour holds the 100 moving average, I'd look for continuation to the upside. Yeah, so as far as our larger, because that double top, now, Crypto Clown World, I'm saying that I do think we could get another local high. Let me move back to the 2 hour chart. This last move up from April 19th, which was a Sunday, is a 3-wave move. And generally, you don't finish a larger impulse on a 3-wave move. So I am still expecting a new high, but I'm just locally, can we come down a little bit lower and get that kind of flat, that expanded flat before coming up to 82? That's what I'm looking at, or even 81. I think 81 is also going to be an important area. If we're looking at a flat, let's just say this is an A, B, flat, C, expanded C, right? We can pull a Fibonacci retracement from the highs of A to wherever your lows in C are. Now, I'm going to put them on our current lows, but I don't think that's going to be the overall low. We can look at our wave 5 targets, and your wave 5 targets are to come up between the 1.236 and the 1.618. I mean, 80.5 is very, very important, because what was at 80.5, guys? It was our prior range low. Our prior daily range low at $80,500. So oftentimes, when you lose a range with high volume, right? We were ranging in here for 3 months, lost the range with high volume. Oftentimes, you'll come back up to bearishly backtest either the lows of the range, the absolute lows, and crash, or to backtest the value area low of that range and crash. And if we look at the value area low of that range, it is the same as the macro value area low at $86,000. Man, all right. We are still attempting to move up here. I am in the short. I told you guys I did enter the short. We might come up a little bit higher to hit that Binance VWAP. If I get stopped out, actually my stop is at 76.5. So let's see, where is that Binance VWAP at? 76, pretty much at 76.5, dang it. Okay, now I know some of you guys did want to look at some of the altcoins, so we will do that. Yeah, try conditioner instead. It's more silky. It's easier on the skin, right? Yeah, we'll check ETH. We'll check ETH. What was the other one? BSB, was it? Let me scroll up here. Guys, please hit the like button if you got any sort of insight into the market. Really quickly here, I want to take a second to shout out the partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description below, you will get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you deposit large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses paid out in real Bitcoin or real USDT based off the volume you trade and move in the futures markets. So guys, when we're trading like the short that I just entered right now, it's a USDT contracts on the futures market. So just by entering this trade, I'm adding to my trading volume on BYDFI. And depending on how much volume you trade, you can earn extra money. It's literally, you're getting extra rewards just for doing trading you would normally be doing. So for me, that $8,100 in extra rewards is it's such a great incentive. And then also they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. For instance, if you deposit $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus there. Most exchanges will only give you $20 there. They're giving you 20% deposit bonuses up to $1,000, and they're giving you 10% deposit bonuses up to $20,000. So if you deposit $20,000, you'll get a $2,000 bonus, a $2,000 bonus. That's double what most exchanges will do. I've also partnered with BYDFI to get to create a Telegram community. Now it's a private community, but it is free. All you need to do to get into the Telegram is join BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. You can deposit more if you want to get some of the bigger rewards there. But once you've signed up with BYDFI with my affiliate link and deposited the minimum amount, you can click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And in that Telegram verify channel, you're going to type in /verify and then your BYDFI user ID, which is going to be probably a string of letters and numbers for you guys, but it's up next to your character. So /verify and your user ID. and that'll automatically put you into the Telegram. And guys, once you're in. That's it. The money you're putting into the exchange, you're not paying to me. You're not paying it to BYDFI. You're just depositing on the exchange in hopes that you will try out the exchange, like the exchange, and stick with the exchange. So it is free. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. Second partner of the channel is another non-KYC exchange. It is Blowfin, and Blowfin is offering VIP 1 for 30 days. If you deposit $5, you can get a $10 voucher, and they're giving some really good initial deposit bonuses here. You can see 20% on $100, and if you deposit $10,000, you can get a 10% deposit bonus of $1,000 for free. If you're interested in signing up with Blowfin, it is a way to say thank you to the channel. It is a way to support the channel, to use those affiliate links. I also am partnered with 2 KYC exchanges. I know it's counterintuitive, but some people actually do like to trade on KYC exchanges. And I have MEXC and Bybit. Bybit is offering up to 30,000 in futures trading bonuses, depending on the amount of volume you move. And MEXC is offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to $1,000. Then lastly, the last partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. And NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator you see at the bottom of your screen here. Now, I use NAMI for confirmations on my trades. Like as we're coming down to a key level of support, golden pocket, naked daily point of control, earlier in the stream, I told you I didn't long from this area. Well, why didn't I long from that area? Do I see bull divs on the chart? No, I don't. You know, let's go on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, do we see bull divs? No, very, very slight bull divs on NAMI here. I didn't see enough, and I also looking at the Elliott count is why I didn't. But what I do, I use NAMI for confirmations to enter and exit trades. So as we're coming to a key level of support or resistance, I look for those bullish divergences. I look at money flow divergences. I look at money flow in general. And if I have confirmation, I'll enter the trade. Now, using these confirmation-based trades, I have drastically increased my profits and got into the good trades that are more likely to play out and stayed out of the less probable trades that are less likely to play out. So NAMI has really helped me in some ways maximize my profits. And if you're interested in purchasing NAMI, I have partnered with them to get you guys 50% off. So click the affiliate link in the description. And once you're checking out on their website, in the discount code promotion box, type in Divine50 and you can get 50% off that lifetime subscription to NAMI. Looks like actually, guys, we're starting to print a hidden bear div, followed by a possible bear div on the 30-minute. Let's go to the 15-minute real quick here. 15-minute, very, very slight bear divs on this. Let's go to our 5-minute chart. Do we see bear divs? Not really. Okay. But on that 30-minute, we are developing potential. If we do reject this VWAP, you can see here we will have higher highs on the price action and lower highs on those momentum waves. So it would be confirmed if we reject. We haven't actually confirmed the rejection yet. Okay. Let's go into some of the altcoins. So I will check out real quick, John, if you're still in here, we'll look at Turbo. Now, guys, I'm only going to spend a couple minutes on these altcoins here real quick. I want to get back to Bitcoin and I want to focus on some of the larger altcoins. But I will check this out real quick for you. Okay, John, so first off, we have to know that Turbo has a double bottom here, and we didn't take out the low. So that is important to know that there's a double bottom, pretty much twice the liquidity to grab now on those lows. We also know our real nice support box for our 5th and final wave to the downside is going to probably be between the 1.236 and the 1.618. So we haven't quite come down there yet. But what is interesting within this range that we've been in for the past 3 months, this range in here, we are locally making bullish market structure because we have our, well, we have our low, we have a higher high, higher low, higher high. Could we put in a higher low before continuing this up, kind of creating this bear flag, right? Or this ascending channel that oftentimes will break down. Yes, we could. Now, knowing that, What happened on the last big daily high on, what was that? Thursday, April 16th. We came up in a very aggressive daily candle. You can see how big this daily candle was. We wicked out your range high. We hit into the weekly time frame. And then we dumped the very next day back inside the volume profile and dumped to the POC of the range. Now, that POC was also a very important golden pocket. So if we pull a golden pocket from the last daily swing low to the daily swing high, and you look at that golden pocket and we put it on log scale, because we are using log scale, and that's more than a 30% dump, you can see we bounced from the golden pocket and the POC. Point of control of the range golden pocket, right? That was right here on Saturday, a weekend low. Saturday's a weekend low there. Pay attention to that, weak and low. But we did bounce, and since we're bouncing, we are creating this very crappy, overlappy structure up to the value area high. Now, one thing that is important is we've re-entered after attempting to break out of the value area high. We fell back in aggressively. So we've reestablished price action back inside the value area high. Back inside the value area, excuse me. Back inside this value area. But since dropping back inside of it, yes, we did bounce from POC, but we have not bearishly backtested the value area high yet. And if we backtest the value area high and reject, then we could probably assume we're going to drop to value area low. It would also give us a pretty nice 3-wave corrective move coming down to that value area low. So what I'm looking for here locally, John, is we haven't actually hit the value area high yet. So could we continue up locally? And we also have all these semi-equal highs up here. You can see this 12.17, and this is pretty much an equal high, right? We have equal highs, actually exactly equal highs, 12.17, 12.17. So what would be nice is to grab the liquidity from these equal highs into your value area high, and then see that bigger dump come in where we could drop to value area low, creating that overall 3-wave corrective move. And it would maintain overall our bullish market structure on the daily time frame, right? So if we zoom back out to the daily, we have our low, we have our higher high, higher low, higher high. Is this going to be a higher low at the value area low? And then we continue bullish market structure for a bit. I will actually, John, set an alert on this high. And if we do SFP short this, I will let you know in the Telegram if we get the actual trade from that, a short trade. Now, if we do drop, let's just pull a trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and I'm going to put it on the value area high. We're going to look at our 1-to-1 target. I mean, it is coming down pretty low. Actually, coming down to, you would be taking out the lows, really, or around the lows. But your minimum target is the 618. It's around the value area low. Now, let's also look at some naked weekly points of control within this range. Actually, nothing down below us. Let's see if we have a naked monthly down there. No naked monthlies. And lastly, we'll look at our naked dailies. I do want to zoom in onto the 1 hour to look at those. Yeah, we have a couple down, 0096 and 0094. Another thing I want to look at is our fib pull, not from our last daily lows, but from the range lows. That double bottom to our range, our current range highs. Is that actually on there? Hold on. Let's go to the 8 hour. And then we'll make that based off log scale. Yep. All right. So golden pocket is a little bit above the value area low, but I also want to throw on that 786. Dang. I actually like the 786 better because we have some liquidity. into the 786. You can see that liquidity, and it would hit your minimum target of the 618 if this was going to be a 3-wave corrective move. So what I would be paying attention to, John, is just watch those double tops at 001217 for a potential short. And then if you do come down to value area low 618, 786, I would be watching that, you know. You do probably, let's see here on the daily time frame. You did print hidden bear divs here on that right now. As the last couple of days are going, we are printing some hidden bear divs. And you don't have bull divs because you don't have a lower low here, you know. Okay, and then let's look at our weekly levels. Do we have a weekly in here? Yeah, you also have that fresh weekly level that's down there near the value area low. A weekly. No monthlies, and then our dailies. Yeah, you have a couple. You have a daily in here. You see this nice daily order block is around the golden pocket. I like this daily order block, actually. This one right here, because it is inside your golden pocket, and afterwards there's a bit of an imbalance. This candle here is a bit of an imbalance that happens after that daily order block, making this daily order block super important. I like to check the 8 hours. 8-hour time frame is a really good level to look at for order blocks. I mean, it's, yeah, this kind of zone in here, I would say. Okay, but locally, you're probably going to continue up until you take out those two highs. BSB, was it? Let me just double check here. I got to check Bitcoin to see if we're dumping. Not really, guys. I might get stopped on this. All right, we'll go to spot on Bybit. All right, pretty much brand new altcoin. We're not going to be able to do too much here, but we will look at this. I mean, it's in a nice uptrend on the daily time frame. Yeah, this actually looks, now it's hard to start with your listing price, but like, what is this, a 1 2 1 2, and you're in your big third wave here? Maybe we're going to see some 4 5s coming in. All right. Yeah, you do have, I mean, we're pushing up pretty nicely right now. That is going to be a daily level right next to your weekly level. And then we have I mean, today's daily candle isn't closed yet, but it's probably going to close green. So you have a fresh daily support at 73.97. Be careful. You are looking like you are going to print some bear div in the next few days on NAMI. Let's go to our 8-hour. Actually, money flow looks really strong on Market Cypher B on the 8-hour. And you're not really printing any bear divs, even though money flow's draining out on NAMI. Market Cypher is a bit slower, and it tends to react a little bit less to the ebbs and flows. So I would say this thing is likely to continue bullish, but I would just be watching for, especially because you got an SFP of the high already on, was that over the weekend? Let's see, you had this high, you SFP'd it on Sunday. So now you have a weekend high. So I would even be careful of an SFP of the weekend high at 94 cents. Yeah, and money flow still looks pretty good on Market Cypher. But if you do SFP that high, you could be creating a bear div, right? Because you would have, look at 1, 2, you could have a third hump of a lower high. You would have 3 drives of bear div. 1, 2, 3. So I would be careful for that SFP, and it would also give you a bear div on NAMI as well. But your big structure, right? Your big aggressive structure to the upside here, you're not losing it. So we could even zoom in onto the 1 hour and we could look at that aggressive structure. I would pull a channel. I mean, we could go from the bottom, but it looks like right here is kind of where that aggressive trend starts. All right, let me look at one other thing. We will go from that bottom. Nah, because the aggressive trend starts from right there. So we got to look at it from that low. From this low. Yeah, I like that very first channel I did the best. This one. So you are starting to chop around, and you can see now we are starting to form kind of a sideways range. It was going very aggressively up. And then now in this area, you're starting to form a sideways range. So we can pull that volume profile. All right, you're above the value area high of the range. You bounce from the POC, and that's not a confirmed daily yet. This daily, I'll hide this for now because it's not confirmed yet. It will confirm at the end of the day today. Also, it looked like you were in a triangle here that you are breaking out, right? Triangle is a continuation consolidation pattern because you pumped coming into it. You have a higher likelihood of pump coming out of it. So I would at least be looking to grab your highs at 94 cents. If you SFP that, great. If not, you're probably going to continue. And we can look at, on the 4-hour chart, we can pull a, actually, let's do this. Even within this channel, even within this very aggressive uptrend, you can see, let's just say this was a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And you have to say that because there's overlap between the highs of 1 and the lows of 4. But this is the start of your third wave. This low right here is the start of your third wave. Even so, you have a 1, 2, 3. You could get a pullback and a 4 and a 5. So the third wave looks like it's going to continue regardless. You might get small pullbacks, but that's about it. We can pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the lows of 1 to the highs of 1 to the lows of 2. We can put on that 1.618. Yeah, you might continue this. And actually, this looks like it's a flat. Sorry, guys. This looks like it's your wave 1. And then you have a flat in here. ABC flat. So we would actually want to pull that trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the lows of wave 1 to the highs of wave 1, not the B wave highs, but the highs of wave 1 down to your C wave lows or your wave 2 lows. So coming into about 118.6, you could end your third wave around here. So what could we see here, guys? Inside the third wave, a wave 1, a wave 2, maybe our wave 3 is going to SFP the top. Then we get a pullback in a wave 4 before coming up here in a wave 5. And that would end, and then you would be looking for a bigger pullback, maybe a week or so before seeing one last move up. Now, this is relatively new, so we can't do much here, but we can look at this aggressive trend. Now, what I like to pull pitchforks for is, especially for wave 3s that are aggressively to the upside, you can pull what's called, I call it a base pitchfork. So I would pull it from the lows of wave 1 to the highs of wave 1 to the lows of wave 2. Now, in a very aggressive trend, oftentimes you will hit the highs of the pitchfork with your wave 3. I'm going to change this to a modified skiff, and we are going to look at, okay, we are coming into the highs of the pitchfork right now. And yeah, we are, so first of all, this is low liquidity, so you're going to see a lot of wickage, but I would be very careful of seeing an SFP of the highs into about, what is that going to be? 101.67, or let's just say 102. You could then get a bigger pullback down to the midline around, 70 cents before coming up to 118. And that would give you your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Ethereum. Let me check Bitcoin really quickly. Yeah, looks like I haven't got stopped out yet, guys. I set my stop at 76.5, but it looks like we might get stopped out on this thing. And if we do get stopped out and then roll over again and lose it again, I would just look to re-enter it because I am expecting a new local low. Now I would put on that channel, not this. Well, first of all, we're breaking out of our small intraday channel or from Sunday's highs. Let me go to the 12-minute chart. You can see this descending channel from Sunday's highs. We've been chopping within this channel. We bounced from the midline this morning and we're breaking out of it. So because we're breaking out of this very small 2-3 day long channel, could we come up and sweep some of the liquidity of this trail that was created? And I would be looking to come up to our C wave channel high, not this one, to the bearish backtest, the bearish backtest of that C wave, that channel breakdown from today. Now, remember, if we already dump below it today, if we can get back inside of it by the end of the day, that's going to be really bullish for me because it would be a wick down below it to hit support of a naked daily and a golden pocket. And then if we close back above, let's just say 76.8 to about 76.9, if we close above 76.8, 76.9, I'm pretty bullish to make new highs. Okay, ETH. Now, Ethereum, we've been in this sideways upper range for about 2-3 weeks now. Let's see. Yeah, 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks now. We've been in this upper range. One of the things that we did reject from is we did reject from our resistance, that 786 and that naked daily point of control. We had this box here and we dumped down pretty aggressively back inside the volume profile. We dumped down pretty much to value area low and we did not take liquidity. This is important, guys. Very important. We did not take the lows of the range. You can see here, we did not take the lows. And actually I'm looking for a long around 2239 because our anchored VWAP and the bottom of our pitchfork is there. Now, inside of this pitchfork, it's not the most well respected, but you can see we rejected from the midline, tried to get above it, rejected, fail auction of the midline. You fell down to your lower band. You bounced from your lower band. You broke above, you bounced from the lower band again. You went sideways over the weekend. You bounced from the lower band again. And that's when you came up to that naked daily. We're losing the lower band. And if we pull our golden pocket from our last high to our low, that golden pocket is going to be at that lower band. So that is a potential rejection around 2350. I would look for a potential rejection there. You have to be careful because there is a fair value gap. You could see this fair value gap in here. And your 786 is going to be around the value area high. So I would be watching both 2350 and like 2375-ish. For potential rejections to continue this downtrend until you actually take that liquidity and actually hit the bottom of the pitchfork. But one thing that on Ethereum that I'm looking at is the anchored VWAP from your last range high is very close to the anchored VWAP from our last significant low. You can see they're right in the zone at the bottom of the pitchfork. So that now is going to be important support. If we come down, grindy structure down to hold that level, I do think we could come up to make new highs. And remember, on Ethereum, there is not much within, let me just go to the 12-hour. There is not much within this giant drop down to keep us from pushing up to 27, or even I really like this major resistance up here around 3,000, 2,900 to 3,000. Obviously, we're finding a little bit of rejection at these highs from this little, zone in here. order block zone. And that's giving us this small pullback. But look at this pullback so far. It doesn't look, it looks corrective to me. It looks like a corrective pullback. So I am looking for Ethereum to continue higher. I would like to not lose the pitchfork. If we do start to lose the pitchfork and not SFP, you know, the SFP of 20, what is that? 2252 is going to be an important level. And actually, I'll set an alert there. We can actually look to long that if we get that SFP. But for me, if we look at our trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and we put on our 1-to-1 target and our 1.236, you can see they're very close in confluence with our boxes, right? That major zone, I'd say between $2,850 and about $3,000. Now, that $3,000 mark is major because we have two major anchored VWAPs. We have our anchored VWAP from the $1,400 lows coming up to that pitchfork midline. Let me hide this smaller pitchfork for a second so you guys can see this clear. And I'll just hide this for a second. First off, your prior range, value area low, and POC are very close to each other right inside this box. Major resistance here. We have our anchored VWAP from the lows inside that box. We have our anchored VWAP from the all-time high inside that box. We have a naked weekly point of control right around that box. Major pitchfork midline right around that box. So I am looking, if we do make it up there, if we can continue to grind up to this, that could be major sell-off area. As far as our bigger pitchfork goes, you can see that for a couple months, let me just hide some of this. For a couple months, we were grinding and finding resistance at the top of this lower pitchfork band, right? Resistance, 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 resistance. Bit of a failed auction above, or a attempt to break out. You fell below, back tested. Anyways, resistance again here 2 times. And then what happened? Just like with Bitcoin, what was important at Bitcoin at 70K? We flipped the pitchfork band to support. Well, with Ethereum, what was acting as resistance here and here flipped to support. We broke above it with an imbalance candle, flipped it to support locally, made a new local high, higher low, higher high. So we are above that pitchfork band. If we are going to see a higher time frame back test of it, I mean, it would be a little bit of a deviation below our anchored VWAPs and our pitchfork, but we still could come down there to back test that. If we pull a fib from our lows of this current impulse to our highs, I want to look at our 382 often. Yeah, so we've already hit the 382. Okay, 382 often bounces you in a strong trend. So could we just SFP the low and overall hold the 382? Yes, we could. And if we're going to continue to hold this and double bottom here, I would expect higher. And if we start to break above the value area high of this 2-week long range, so we'll throw that value area high back on the chart. And I want to zoom into lower time frames. Let's go to the 2-hour. So if we're looking at this volume profile and we're looking at the value area high, which is coming in around 2376. If we start to break above that, I think we could make it up to 2700. If we're looking at our chart, there's no daily levels in here. There's no weekly levels in here. There's no volume levels until you get up to 2700. Where we have a couple naked daily points of control, 2693, 2732. Okay. Until you get up there, there's nothing really else in there. And then if we make it up to this zone, that's where I'd really be looking for a major pullback, at least a swing short, right? And when I say swing short, it doesn't mean we're going to drop to take out the lows, but I mean, we could see this continue to rise up to this area, all the way to fall back to the band before continuing. Locally, I do not like how this morning we front ran that liquidity. I would like to see us continue a little bit lower to grab that liquidity. I mean, you could even say this is some sort of contracting diagonal that's not done as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would want this to come down a little bit lower, 5, where you have this kind of contracting diagonal in here. And then you get that push up. Okay, let me check the chat. Are we pumping? Did I get stopped out yet? Not yet, but it looks like it's gonna be. Yeah, we're starting to break above, guys. I think this is not, this short trade's not going to end up working out. The next short I would look at now probably would be up at this back test of the channel. Now, what is going to invalidate our 5-wave move down here? If this is a wave 1 running flat and a wave 2, wave 3, if you come up to the golden pocket of your wave 3, excuse me, if you come up to the golden pocket of your wave 3, that will invalidate this as a 5-wave move. So golden pocket, and we're almost there. We have not touched it yet. Dang, my stop loss. I didn't realize my stop loss was at a golden pocket. I'll just look to re-enter. If I lose this one, I could look to re-enter if we do end up rejecting from 76.5-ish. But yeah, guys, if we hit this golden pocket, it's going to invalidate this as a 5-wave, an impulse down, a 5-wave move down here. Okay. Yes, Time Attack, we will for sure check Chainlink. I always will check Chainlink for you. Okay, let me see. 2762 is the 200 moving average on the daily for ETH. Yeah, I like that $2,700 level. 2632 is a naked daily point of control, so it makes a lot of sense. Crypto Clan World, by the time we get up to 27, your 200 daily could be right on top of that naked daily point of control. So it makes sense to me. 27 and 29 really are great levels. Yes. Okay. Solana, we can look at Solana. Guys, I took profit on that Solana long at $88 exactly because we had a naked daily point of control there. I have since deleted that naked daily point of control, but if you look here, we had a perfect rejection at a naked daily point of control. Why is that not showing it? It was, man, I swear there was a naked daily point of control there. At 88. That's why. 88, right up here. Naked daily point of control. Took profit on the long position, and I took the long on the reclaim of this at 85. That was the POC of our 3-month long range and our anchored VWAP. So I took profit there. I have not longed again. My next long on Solana will be in this zone, like 81.5. We have liquidity at 81.29. And if we come down to the value area low, right? Because look at what happened in Solana. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, first of all, we rejected this. Guys, remember this box up here? We had a naked monthly point of control. We had a golden pocket. We had the value area high. We had a bunch of resistance in this purple box. We dropped. We had a 3-wave corrective move up. And we rejected the value area high of our 3-month long range. After rejecting value area high, we bounced from the POC, which when the POC was down there at the time. If I pull this back a little bit, POC was down there. That's why I longed 85. So I longed 85 to bring up to 88. That was it. 88, if you pull your Fibonacci, it was pretty much right there as well. Golden pocket, naked daily point of control. But because this was a 3-wave move up, I expect us to take out those lows. And those lows were they taken out just now? We double bottomed them. We didn't take them out. I would say there's no wick below it. I think that because we rejected the value area high of the range, because now we're starting to lose POC, because now if I drag this volume profile to current price action, we are below the POC quite a bit. The POC is now shifted up to 86.2. So we are below POC. We rejected value area high. That means it's very likely we could rotate down to value area low. And your value area low is right where that liquidity grab at 81.29 is. Also, if we look at our golden pocket from our, by the way, we longed this too. This was great. This was an SFP into a naked daily point of control at the bottom of this box. But if we look at this golden pocket, you can see the golden pockets coming in around 82 to about 81.5. So between 82 and $81 is where I'm looking. Now, I don't like 82 as much as grabbing the liquidity at 81.3. At least coming down and grabbing our current low at 82.96, this low. Okay, I see a couple super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. I appreciate that, you guys. Yes, Time Attack, we will do Chainlink for sure. And man, thank you so much for that super chat. Man, much love to you, Time Attack. And Mark, you as well. Make Link go down. Well, I'll take that $10 and I'll 1000x short. But thank you, Mark, and thank you, Time Attack, so much for the super chats. I really do appreciate that a lot. All right, let's go into Chainlink. Chainlink is rejecting our golden pocket area. You can see it's kind of a double top rejection with an SFP, with an internal SFP. So we have this high, and we SFP that high, but still didn't break our overall lower high golden pocket. Now, if you remember on Chainlink, I've been talking about this ascending channel at the beginning of the month. A couple months ago, we were rising within this ascending channel. We broke it down, and since we broke it down, we have now backtested, kind of went sideways, backtested, rejected, kind of went sideways, backtested a third time, rejected. Now we're kind of going sideways here. I am looking for another move down because this looks impulsive. We could be seeing a 3-wave corrective move here before seeing another impulse down. Even if it's just going to be a larger 3-wave corrective move to hit golden pocket and grab liquidity before making another run. Now, if we look at, and I want to keep this channel on the chart because if we break back inside this channel, I'm going to be really bullish to make a move up to like $11. But if we look at, let me get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. The volume profile. And we're just going to pull it from the lows, the sideways range, right? We are back. We're chopping around value area high. Now, I know some people would include this little bit of price action inside of that as well. To me, I don't, because this is part of an impulse to the downside. So when you're looking at a fixed range volume profile, you like to take the volume of a range. This clearly is an impulse down. So once the impulse ends, we start to range sideways. So I like to pull the volume profile from the low. Now, I get some people will pull it and include this little chunk of price action in there. They're very, very similar volume profiles, and I would say both are valid. I just like to use from the low, and you can see that they're very, very similar. The value area high is shifted just up a little bit on that second volume profile. But we are chopping around, and we're struggling. We're starting to come back inside of our volume profile. And you can see on this volume profile, resistance of the channel and the value area high, reject. Resistance of value area high, reject. But you did make a higher low. You broke out, and this could be considered sort of a failed auction up here of the breakout of the value area high. So if we start to fall back inside this volume profile, which we are today, we back tested it locally. Because we back tested it locally earlier today and rejected, I would at least expect to take out this low. And I think we just did. Let me go on to the 1 hour. Yeah, SFP'd that low. You can see nice little wick underneath it. So we did and look at this volume imbalance candle falling back inside the volume profile. So you fell back in with a nice imbalance candle, backtest bearishly the VWAP and the value area high. Because you rejected here, you expected to at least take out this low. And then we just did now over the past couple of hours. Took it out. Now we're rising back up here. I would really be watching here for a flat. So if this is all an impulse down in a wave one, you could see a flat here. An A wave, B flat takes out your lows of A, and then you get a C wave, which often takes out the highs of A. And then you roll over in your 3. So I would really be watching for that. And if we come down, you can see we have a very nice golden pocket. So pulled from your last major lows to your highs that you made. And let me make sure that is right. Lows to highs. Yes, you have a golden pocket that's coming in at 884 to 878. And if you look at that golden pocket, it's right on your range point of control. So if we're going to fall back inside the volume profile, we're most likely going to drop to the range point of control. And that is where I would really like to potentially hold, at least see a scalp long opportunity here. Now, one thing to be aware of is within this larger sideways range, you can see we have 2 channels in here. We have our larger ascending channel here, and then we broke it down and we've been forming a smaller ascending channel here. And so if we start to break that lower bound of the channel, and I'm just going to take a ray actually, and we look at kind of this, actually I would pull it to this one. If we start to break this trend, which we're at right now, then I would say you're likely to see a drop to take at least to the golden pocket. But generally when you're in a channel like this and you break it down, you'll sweep the liquidity of that second pivot, meaning this low at 869. And if we pull a trend-based Fibonacci extinction, now I'll have to re-pull this because we made a new local high. It's just barely, but if we're looking at a corrective move down from your A highs to A lows up to your B highs, your 1-to-1 trend-based Fibonacci extinction is right around that golden pocket and your POC. So this is definitely a zone of support because you have POC, you have your 1-to-1 trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and let's check to see if we have any naked daily points of controls. Oops. We do have a naked daily point of control within that golden pocket. I'm going to go on the 1 to make sure I got it precise. See, this is the thing with trading view. On the 1 hour chart, it'll shift that naked daily a little bit. If I go back to 4 hour, it'll be there. Let's go to our 2 hour and see which one it chooses. Yeah, okay, I'm going to shift that down here. So at 873.4, we have a naked daily point of control, which is in our zone, right? This is our zone of support. And I want to look at our naked weeklies because that might also be a naked weekly point of control. Nope, it's been hit. All right, and then we do have a naked daily as well at about 864. I'm going to check our daily levels, and sure enough, guys, where do we have a daily level of support? Right at your naked daily point of control at 873. So you can see right on top of that, a daily level. So now we're building a very nice zone of confluence for support. This box here is becoming a very nice zone. 1-to-1 trend-based Fibonacci extinction, golden pocket, daily level, naked daily point of control. You do have some liquidity that's just below it. And if we look at our weeklies. There's also a weekly level there. So very, very strong level. Oops. Very strong level. 873.6, 873.4. Starting to look very juicy for a potential long opportunity. And once again, locally, we might come up to take out the internal high from earlier today at 933. Because if we're going to see that A, B flat, C, and then roll over in a wave 3, maybe our wave 3 bounces from the golden pocket, we get a wave 4, and then our wave 5 actually hits that weekly and naked daily. And that gives you your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we're looking for, in our larger corrective move, you're looking for impulse, correction, impulse. 535, right? ABC. Here. A wave impulse down. B wave comes in a 3-wave corrective move. And then you're looking for another C wave to come down and finish an impulse, generally at support. Now, let's go to the 8-hour and let's look at our money flow and momentum. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. We don't have any, I guess NAMI was showing some bear divs. So between, first of all, this hidden bear div printed on the 8-hour last time we looked at it, but we did make a higher high here. So we have a higher high in price action and we have lower high in the momentum waves. Your money flow has been draining out ever since that major top a couple weeks ago. You're forming bear divs and money flow draining out of the asset. 4-hour time frame. Market Cipher has 4-hour bear divs between these two highs. Very slight, but you can see them. NAMI has, actually NAMI doesn't have 4-hour bear divs, but money flow is heavily crossing into the red, and Market Cipher is about to cross into the red, or it crossed into the red, and now it's coming back into the green, but just barely. So let's see if we can't. I'm going to set an alert time attack on that 933.2 high. And if we SFP that, I will probably look for a short there. Now, overall, on the daily time frame, on Chainlink, man, this is a mess. Let me just hide a lot of this local TA we just did. And I'm going to hide this channel for a second. What I like about Chainlink, we talked about this last week. We've been chopping around the bottom of this pitchfork for quite a while, this bigger bearish pitchfork for quite a while. It has been heavily respected. You can see support on the top of the upper limit of the upper band, lower high. You reject from the upper band. You fall to the midline. You kind of hold it for a bit in a triangle. You lose it, you backtest it, you come down to the lower band, you bounce, backtest POC, you bounce from the top of the lower band, reject POC again, drop. So if we do, I mean, we are at the bottom of the pitchfork, but the pitchfork was acting as resistance the first half of this range. We had a failed auction above it, fell back below it, another rejection, another rejection. Just last week was the first time, and I remember talking about this last week, that we broke above it, we back tested it, and we were holding it. So there is some hope. We're holding the back test of the pitchfork, getting back inside the pitchfork from last Sunday. I don't like the chop that we're seeing through it so much, so I wouldn't put too much on that. And overall, on the, let's go zoom out to the 3-day time frame. I still do think we could make another macro low on Chainlink. And I'm looking at our major volume profile that goes back to 2020. So for 5 years now, we've been in this upper range in here. And we have another range down here. And then we have even another range down here. But our major range, kind of the fair value for Chainlink over the past 5 years has been between like $5 and I would say around $30, $5 to $30. We have the POC where you can see a lot of accumulation happened in our past bear market. This is the nicest accumulation I've ever seen, guys. 2 years of accumulation to see expansion. The problem is we saw expansion, and then what do we get up here? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, or whether you want to call that distribution, right? So accumulation, expansion, distribution, distributing down. So oftentimes you'll distribute down to the fair value of an asset, especially in an accumulation zone. So the fair value over the past 5 years is at $7, $7.03. We front ran that low with the crash in February. So it would be nice, even if we do this and come all the way up to $11, $11, $12, where we backtest this POC, or excuse me, backtest this value area low and the pitchfork band, and then drop to double bottom and take out that $7 low where I already have limit spot buy orders at 703. I plan to buy some more spot at 703 regardless. Even if it drops all the way down to $5 or $4, whatever, I'm buying some at 703. But seeing this in here and a double bottom here could be the end of the bear market for Chainlink. And then we see a big push up. As far as from our highs of this cycle coming in around $30, if we're looking at that trend-based Fibonacci extinction target, we are a bit below. I believe it was at, yeah, you can see our 1-to-1 is at $9, but look at where your 1.236 is. It's right on that POC. And that would be your target, your second primary target for that ABC correction. So if we're looking at this as a larger A, B, C, and then you get a new high, you'd expect to put in a high over $30. Not right away, but it would happen in time. I would look for that double bottom around $7. From the impulse rejection at $27, $27.28, you can see here we have kind of this channel in here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be another 4 before seeing another 5 to finish the C wave, right? Impulse, correction, impulse. So on the day, on our weekly time frame, our high time frames, we do have some 1-2s built up in here, right? All of this choppy overlap, 1, 2, 1, 2. All of this would be your third wave. Your fourth wave, you could say that this is a running flat. Then you get another fifth wave. We need another fourth wave and then another fifth wave to finish it. And yes, guys, your wave 4s oftentimes are longer than your wave 2s. So it just makes sense that one more macro low and the next macro low could be the bear market low, where I would really enjoy looking for swing longs and looking for spot buys. It looks like a few days ago we printed a hidden bear div on that high on what was that, Thursday, last Thursday. We printed a high here with a hidden bear div on the 3-day. Let's go to our daily. Yeah, and we did have the daily bear divs, guys, on this move up here. Between these two highs, bear divs formed. And you even, no, you don't have bear divs on NAMI or on Market Cipher, but on Market Cipher on the daily, you have started to roll over now. And look at you, your guys, the VWAPs were pegged together. Actually, they're kind of pegged together now, which is often the sign that you're going to roll over. low time frame, time attack. I think you're more accumulating on spot and doing like swing trades on Chainlink. I really am looking for that low to be taken. I have alert set already. I will also set an alert here. So major alert set. This range could extend a bit longer and we could even make a new high, right? Because if we're looking at that overall A, B, C, we don't have a new high yet over this high. So could we hold like that golden pocket area and then continue to come up, or hold even the bottom of the pitchfork around $9 or so, $9.04? Yeah, we could. I would like to see this 3-wave move locally continue to play out. And then I would like to potentially move upwards. Inside of here, there is not much resistance, right? No resistance really. So if we start to break above kind of the highs that we're at now, I think we're going to see a quick shot up to around $11 to like $11.70. You have your prior range value area low in there, and your pitchfork band is in there. All right. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Did we get stopped out? Ooh. Wow. Guys, I don't think I got stopped out. Hold on, let me check something. No, I'm not. I didn't get stopped. Wow, that was freaking close. All right, I'm still in that trade. It could bounce from VWAP right here and then continue up. So be careful, guys. I'm obviously gonna stick with this short trade. I'm in the short. I do expect a new local low below today's lows. So let's see how it goes. All right. ZBCN is looking strong. Pretty fast sell-off today, but it can turn around fast. I've never heard ZBCN. ZBCN. Not sure what this is. Yeah, nice little bearish engulfing candle today. That's a very nice bearish engulfing candle for the day. Yeah, you are breaking a pretty nice downtrend on this thing. You can see kind of this channel that we were in. You're breaking out. If you back test this and hold this, I would expect to come up to sweep these highs. So this is high time frame, so it would take some time, but you see this is your second pivot of the channel at 0052925. You're breaking out of the channel. You've already back tested it once on lower time frames. Let me go on to the lower time frames. So you can see how you've already back tested it in a corrective 3-wave move, and then you made a new high. So that was nice. If you back test it now and hold, I would expect to continue higher overall. You do have some pretty significant bear divs here, though. Higher highs here, extreme lower highs here, money flow draining out, bear divs confirmed on NAMI, multiple drives of bear div here. Let's go to the 8-hour. Oops. Yeah, 8-hour bear divs confirmed, 8-hour bear divs confirmed. I would be very careful of a fake out here. If you start to close the daily candles back inside of this channel, you could see a significant dump. It would be a fake out of this entire channel. You would fake out, create a bit of a failed auction. If you fall back inside, you might see a dump, a pretty aggressive dump here. You don't have daily bear divs, so that's kind of nice to see. Yeah, your daily candle close today is going to be important. Above or below 0033876-ish. It's kind of hard to tell exactly. Yeah, 003378, let's say. Man, all these coins have these really shitty double tops. I don't like this double top here. It's very unlikely that the wave 2, if this was going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your wave 2 is very rare to even make it above the 786. Nonetheless, double top here. If this is a flat A, B, C, then you don't want to drop too much lower. You don't want to drop below that 1.618 trend-based Fibonacci extinction, which is pretty much where you're at right now. You want to hold this and make a move up. Tao, yes, Sears Crypto, welcome in, man. And coffee, Teal House Coffee and Bakery, much love to you. Thank you for joining. And Caesar Coco, it's good to see you in here too, man. Sorry to, brother, but Pump posted something big today, and it's fine. Pump? Yeah, we'll check out Pump. I want to check out Tao real quick. I don't remember if I do it on Coinbase or on Bybit. Interesting. All right, well, we have this lower range on like the daily or the 8 hour. Let's go to the daily real quick. You can kind of see this lower range that we're in, which is the whole, at least on Coinbase, the whole life of the coin. I don't think that's all of it. USDT. Yeah. We have a lot more price action. Actually, we were looking for a long around this area. Naked daily. It's the bottom of your pitchfork band. Let's see. Let's pull that volume profile. Yeah, you're bouncing from the value area low of your range. So let me show you guys this. First off, we rejected from the pitchfork midline. And this could be an impulse down, guys, so be careful here. It could be a 5-wave impulse down. This golden pocket rejected us. I don't know what we were looking at with that, but it's very clear that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do have a nice 5-wave move up in here. Because this is a 5-wave move up, you would want to see a higher low before making another higher high. That's on the daily time frame. Your daily money flow looks pretty good, crossing into the green on market side on NAMI, and market cipher looks good as well. The daily bear divs that you had prior are starting to play out. So higher highs here, lower highs. You can see the bear div followed by a hidden bear div on this high. What I would say here on Tau, there is still an opportunity that this is going to be impulsive. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get that 5-wave into the golden pocket. Now, generally, you do not want to, if this is going to be a corrective, if this whole thing was an impulse, you want to see a 5, 3, 5, making a higher low and then continuing up. So could we just be in an A wave right now of a bigger ABC? You know, maybe the A wave comes down to the golden pocket. You get a B wave up to golden pocket, and then a C wave comes down maybe to your like 786. Let's pull that fib. This should be based off log scale. Yeah, so that's a non-log golden pocket right there. Let me make sure if it should be log or not. So that's 164% pump. So this golden pocket's actually wrong, because if it's over 100% pump, you need to change it to based off log scale. What I would say is of our large range that goes back to July of 2024, so almost a year, you're bouncing from the value area low. It is also going to be your the lower band of the pitchfork, right? So you rejected from the midline of the pitchfork. You drop to the lower band, you're bouncing, and could we chop in here for between the bands for a bit? Yeah, or, you know, see another drop. Let's go to our 1 hour. I'm going to get rid of this purple line. Yeah, and even on the 1 hour, you're forming a nice little bottoming range here. I would suspect you're probably going to at least hit the value area high, 262.8. And I want to look at one other thing here. So if we're looking at a potential impulse down, this being a 1, this being a 2, and then this, all of this being a 3, we want to pull that volume profile from the highs of wave 3, if I can get it, to the lows of wave 3, and put on our wave 4 targets. All right, I really like that 382 Fibonacci. Let me double check to see if this is more than a 30% drop. Yeah, it's a 33% drop. So it's right on that kind of edge. So I am going to put this based off log scale just to give you your proper levels. All right, so we would really want to be looking to reject between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci if we're looking at this as a larger 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. Maybe coming down to golden pocket. I just want to check one thing with that trend-based Fibonacci extinction. We go from the highs of wave 1 to the lows of wave 1 to the highs of wave 2. Yeah, we pretty much came down to the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction target. So a third wave will often come down to that 1.618. We barely front ran it. What we could be seeing here, guys, is a 1, 2, 3, we get up here 4, and then we kind of double bottom in a 5, because all your 5 has to do is take out the lows of 4. So we could, because we did bounce from the naked daily, so it's no longer going to be naked. And our thing doesn't go back that far, but we did have a naked daily in there. We'll get rid of that now. Yeah, and it was a naked weekly as well. Or, I mean, that was hit on the way up, so that's way old. Bottom line is, though, we rejected from your pitchfork midline. You made a move down to your lower band. And if this lower band can hold, okay, let me just say this. This is very clearly potentially a 5-wave move up. If this is an impulse, you generally want to see a 3-wave corrective move and then continue pushing higher. Now, generally that 3-wave, if it's a sharp zigzag, which this looks like a sharp zigzag, you will usually come down to golden pocket or 786. We didn't quite do that. I bet you that is pretty much where our equilibrium is, our 0.5 fib. Yeah, your 0.5 fib is right in there. We didn't quite hit that 0.5 either. We just front ran it, but you're around the equilibrium. But if this is an impulse up here, then we want to see a higher low being made and then create another impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? In an expanded flat or an expanded correction, a sharp zigzag correction, your maximum target is hitting that 1.618. So we came pretty much to the maximum target if this is going to be A, B, C, and now we're going to start pushing up here. Money flow on the daily suggests that could be possible because money flow was looking pretty bullish. I would just be aware of these targets between 273.4 and 286.8. And you do have that nice anchored VWAP in there as well. Because if we are going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then roll over, that would be the rejection area in the bearish scenario. If you can start to really break out and break above this, I mean, like, it's very likely that this was a 3-wave corrective move that's finished and you're going to rock it. I would also look for that break in market structure by taking out, what is this? that high, 267.4. If you break 267.4, you're going to see a pretty nice bullish break in market structure. And even very, very locally, we're in this ascending channel, and I actually don't like this for the bulls. This ascending channel in here is looking kind of weak. You see this little ascending channel just after this drop here, chopping in this ascending channel. And I don't like that too much because these ascending channels with low volume and a lot of choppy overlap are usually corrective. It's interesting because you're hitting the top of the channel. I mean, the channel was formed from this low, and this high. You've rejected another time from the top of the channel, and you're rejecting potentially right now from the top of the channel. But the one nice thing is you're back testing the pitchfork band and holding so far. So a bit confusing and messy here for me, for my taste. Okay, pump. We will look at pump real quick. And guys, I do got to get going in just a second here. Pump.fun, is that's the one? Whoa, yeah. Look at that pump. That is a nice pump on pump. I don't think I've looked at this for a very long time. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we were in a very nice downtrend. You can see this channel in here. It was a very, very nice downtrending channel right here in this downtrending channel. But now we are starting to break, I wouldn't say break out of it, but we're starting to break the trend and we're starting to go sideways. So it looks like it's found a floor in this zone. So that zone is going to be important to pay attention to. So let's pull our volume profile, look at that zone. Yeah, you're breaking up to hit your POC today. I would be very, very careful because if you close the daily candle below the POC, this could have just been a liquidity grab. And then you reject that POC, you could roll right back over. But as far as a few days ago, over the weekend, we held the value area low. We rejected POC, came down to value area low, held value area low. So does that mean we're going to continue pushing up? Because this could be a higher high. You broke above this high. Higher low. Could we get another higher high here? Money flow looks pretty good on the daily on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. And if we're looking at, yeah, no significant bear divs on the 4-hour. Money flow looks good on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. Yeah, and I would really be looking at that logarithmic golden pocket. Value area high of the range, 00257, 0025. I like this area of resistance. It would sweep all of this liquidity that was created in here. And you even have some liquidity resting there. Let's look at our naked weekly points of controls. Okay, very important naked weekly point of control, actually. This guy in here, because we have a liquidity grab into it. Right? A liquidity grab into a naked weekly. And unfortunately, our naked dailies aren't going to go back far enough. So today we hit that naked daily. I just want to stay on the 1 hour and see if that naked weekly is still fresh. Man, I hate how TradingView does this. So look at, now that we're on the 1 hour, it doesn't show a naked weekly up here. It's actually down here where that actual, this weekly fair value zone was, profile. But just if you, let's zoom into the 2 hour. Yeah, I mean, this weekly volume profile, you can see how there's two major nodes in here, volume nodes, this node and this node. On the 1 and the 2 hour, it's showing that it was already hit, and we did get a good reaction from it. But if you zoom out to the 4 hour, that volume profile, you can see the node with the highest amount of volume. So I'm still going to keep it on the chart because it is, whether it's naked weekly or this is the naked weekly, you still have a high volume node right above liquidity. So this Caesar SFP into that naked weekly would definitely be a level I would at least be looking for, at least a pullback, maybe a scalp short opportunity in here. And then the bigger resistance is going to be value area high, golden pocket. Okay, guys, let me check the Bitcoin chart real quick, and then I do got to get going. I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys so much. I appreciate your support. Man, this short played, I might have just lucked out like crazy here. I'm in profit on the short. I shorted the SFP into that VWAP. I'm looking for us to take out today's lows. Yeah, we came up and we hit that golden pocket. Now, because we did hit the golden pocket, we cannot count this as a this is a wave 3 anymore, right? A wave 1, a running flat, and a wave 2, a wave 3. Your wave 4 cannot hit the golden pocket of a wave 3, and we just did that. So could we still come down for another low? Yes, we could, but it at least invalidates this as a wave 3 or an impulse, right? This entire move now from yesterday's high, we can't classify this as an impulse. Could we still be stacking? Man, let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is a 3. Where's that high at? Okay, and that high and that low overlap. Let me see this. Yeah, that high and that low overlap. So we could just be stacking a bunch of 1, 2s in here. Unfortunately, all of this, because there's overlap between all this. So if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't look good to me. I don't know, guys. That's a bit tough to look at. We were at a bigger support level. Golden pocket, naked daily point of control. Now, if we don't reject the VWAP where we're at right now and start to roll over, I would expect us to at least come up to touch the top of the channel breakdown around 76.8 to 76.9. And guys, on the daily time frame, let me just emphasize this because this is the most important thing to understand for today. On the daily time frame, we have our big ascending channel. And I know I'm on the 4 hour, but I'm talking about the daily candle close. So we have our big channel from 65K. We've been maintaining bullish market structure. We've been chopping upwards and sideways in this channel. If we close the daily candle below the pink support trend line, the lower trend line of the channel, it is a bearish sign for me. Now, what we're watching for right now, because we're bouncing from a nice local support level, what I'm watching for is the bearish backtest. If you bearishly backtest here and reject, I would expect new lows to be made. So potential short around 76.8, 76.9, maybe even 77 if it takes a day or two. Now, if by the end of today, so in 3 hours or so, 2.5 hours, if we can get back inside and close the daily candle back inside of this channel, bullish, expect new highs, in my opinion. And as far as the flat goes, we did not hit the 1.618. We're still not at the max target, so it could be a B, C, flat correction, expanded flat, and then you continue up to 82, 81, 82. So the bullish scenario is you want to pump right now. You want to pump from this level. You want to get back inside the channel by the end of the day. If you do, I would expect to see an impulse up to 81, 82. All right, guys. I do got to get going. Thank you so much for your support and for the kindness. Thank you for hitting the like button. Please do hit the like button if you got anything out of this live stream today. Time Attack, Mark Dutch, thank you guys so much for those super chats. Really, really is appreciated. Guys, remember, if you do want to join the Telegram, I set some alerts on Solana. I set some alerts on Chainlink. I set some alerts on Tau. We set some alerts on a lot of potential trade setups today. And I will post in the Telegram if I do take those trade setups. So if you want to get into the Telegram, it's free. Remember, all you have to do is join BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. You can deposit more if you want to get some of the bigger rewards. Once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And in that Telegram verify channel, type in /verify and then your BYDFI user ID. That'll put you into the Telegram, and once you're in, you're in. Now, whatever you deposit into BYDFI, you're not paying it to me, you're not paying it to BYDFI. It's your money. You're just depositing it on the exchange in hopes that you will trade on the exchange and like it and stick with it. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. I will be live Thursday and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and tomorrow I will put out a video around market close. So Falco's Forge, much love, man. And everyone, thank you all so much for your